Improvements on the economic outlook offers South African policymakers an opportunity to engage with those positive developments. Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago was speaking after a meeting of G20 finance ministers and central bank governors at the IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington. He believes that while the prospects for the rand remain fluid, the inflation outlook remained on a positive trajectory, while the economic variables in South Africa were also positive.
Growth in the world economy is good news for South Africa, and heightened interest in emerging economies has helped buffer some of the negative impacts of the political climate in the country.
The prospects are still very fluid. There are lots of moving parts. We had also seen South Africa that in spite of the decline in our credit ratings, South Africa still managed to attract capital flows into our market. It's not because we did something spectacularly, it's because globally there had been this increased appetite for emerging market assets, and South Africa, being an emerging market, took advantage of that in spite of the environment where we had our credit rating declined, in spite of the political noise that we have had domestically, even when we had the currency weaken significantly, we saw the currency clawing back from those declines, and that was actually also driven by the positive sentiment globally about emerging markets.
Inflation currently at a 6-month low of 6.1%, just outside the range of 3 to 6% the Reserve Bank seeks, while it has held the repo rate at a steady 7% since March 2016.
The exchange rate of the rand is being driven by factors, global factors such as the risk on, risk off. Do people have an appetite to take emerging market assets or not? It gets affected by the developments with respect to monetary policy in the developed world. But domestically, the rand is also driven by developments with respect to economic variables in South Africa. And I must say that the economic variables in South Africa were all pointing to a very positive outlook for the rand. But the rand is also sensitive to political developments domestically, and getting into the previous meeting, the political noise that we were experiencing were not helping in terms of the rand outlook.
South Africa's Finance Minister Malusi Gigaba meets with IMF Chief Christine Lagarde Sunday before continuing on to New York for all-important meetings with ratings agencies and investors next week. Sherman Bryceby's SABC News, Washington.